email marketing works, more so than most other marketing media, in fact. But how does it work, even though most people ignore most of the emails in their mailbox? It comes down to human biology. So, growing up, you've probably heard that you shouldn't speak to strangers. We're afraid of things we do not know. We stay away from things we do not know. They may be threatening. They may also be nice, like people, for instance. They may be nice people, but you're generally afraid of them because you don't know whether they're good or whether they're bad when you meet them. And by the way, this is why we're not afraid of old people. You would help an old person you see on the roadside because they don't look threatening. They don't have the strength to threaten you at that point, except, of course, they're carrying other weapons like a knife or pepper spray. But generally, old people are regarded as non threats. And so it's the same thing with brands as well. It's the same thing with companies. A company is trying to sell you something. Ideally, they're trying to sell you a solution. But again, I even had to clarify that because we already have a general perception of brands that a brand is trying to sell you. They don't really care whether you value what they're selling you. They're just trying to get as much from you as they can. This is not without justification. In fact, many brands do this. Maybe most companies do this. But so a company still needs to work around that reservation. And the only way to do it is the same way you do it with a stranger. You have to meet them, then meet them again, and then meet them again before they're comfortable with you. And the process is the same. So just like when you meet a stranger, you generally have to say hi or introduce yourself in some other way. It's the same thing. There's a high phase of the conversation that the brand has with you. And this could be wherever you first saw them. So an ad on Facebook, a bulletin board, anything at a coffee shop, anything that first introduced you to the brand is their high. And like most other things, we treat it the same way. So a brand generally has, I think, about 10 seconds to make its introduction to you before you decide whether you'll keep them or you not. We do it like Tinder. You swipe left or you swipe right. You don't even think about this anymore. Think about the last time you were driving down the street and you looked up and you looked at a billboard and just ignored it. It's that quick, that simple. So the brand has those 10 seconds to tell you that, hey, we offer you a solution. We offer you something that will help you survive. And they have to take it. Now, after that stage, then they still go through the courting stage. They still need to talk to you. And that's where the email marketing comes in. It turns out that email marketing is one of the most effective kinds of marketing. So email marketers have to keep sending you emails over and over and over again. And your spam box gets full, your email box gets full, but they still have to keep sending it because they're trying to keep in contact with you. Now, this is where being a regular person comes in, right? So, why doesn't some of this stuff work for you? It's possible, and you can leave a comment in the comment section, but it's possible that a lot of emails we get, we're just not interested in the product, or you've already purchased the product in the first place. There's an information gap between the marketers and the individuals. And so you may have already purchased the product and you don't need to keep getting their emails over and over again. It's possible that you were interested, maybe you are not ready to purchase, you just wanted to know more about something. And now everywhere you go on Facebook, on YouTube, you see the ad for the same company that possibly you were just talking about in your room as well. Your microphone from your phone or from your laptop overheard. And now marketers all over the world are sending you spam ads over this one thing you spoke about. And so that's one reason. But are there other brands that you've used in the past that you just don't you just don't open their emails or their correspondence anymore? If there is, just leave a comment in the comment section. Now, part of it too may just be apathy. We grow, we change, our tastes change. So you may just not be interested in that one thing. But that's part of it. Now, to give you some context, it's estimated that it takes 8 interactions with a customer to get them to take any kind of action. And this 8 interactions can be anything. It can be radio ads, it could be Facebook ads, it could be Twitter ads, it could be you going to their website, going to a speech, watching a speech, anything. So interactions with the company for them to convince you to make a purchase or to just make you comfortable making the purchase in the first place. And by the way, this is 8 interactions that you actually see. So they could actually send out 50 interactions. You may ignore or maybe never actually see 80% of that. But you need to see and interact with them about 8 times before most people make a purchasing decision. So that's why it keeps happening. Now, for the brands that you actually end up buying from, this is the interesting thing. It works. It works. The brand just needs to make sure that you are interested at the time they contact you. You're interested to make a purchase, and you are ready to make a purchase at that period of time. Those three things need to align. But if they do align, then the marketing works. The keeping in contact works. In addition, the higher the cost of what they're trying to get you to purchase, the more interactions you need. So I'll also say that, like, purchasing a vehicle, for instance, may not follow this rule, because when you go to purchase a car, chances are you only go to the dealership once. But then maybe in that dealership they show you a manual, a pamphlet, an advertising pamphlet. They show you the car itself. You go for a test drive. They talk to you about the vehicle. All those things kind of accumulate over the period of time when you're there. And maybe that also includes the amount of time you spend online researching the vehicle in the first place. But all those interactions make you comfortable making the purchase. You want to be persuaded that you're making the right purchase and that you can afford to make the purchase. And that's why it's basic human biology and interactions. By the way, the fascinating thing about a lot of this stuff, and I'll go into some of that in some of my future videos, is that this stuff works. The principles work across interaction type. Whether you're interacting with a company or you're interacting with a business, the same rules apply. The same rules of comfort. You have to build comfort with the customer. You also have to build comfort with individuals when you're building relationships. All these things come down to a science, right? Turns out art is also science. And that's what's fascinating about a lot of this stuff. So I'll go into some of that in future videos as I read a lot about this stuff. And let me know if you have any questions in the comment section, or if there's something specific about this that you find interesting or fascinating and would want to know more about. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.